Hello, Times Crossword, let's go. Feature of building computer programs we hear. Nope. Good humour always at home in the course of game. Looked at team showing anger maybe after trek. Capital, this person's invested in American city. This person could be I or me. American city could be LA or NY. But I'm not getting that. Left in Calais, unable to communicate successfully. Competes in race that's most laborious. Nope. Yes, I think this is heaviest. So competes is vies, in race, in heat. That gives heaviest, which means most laborious. Momentous things are threat somehow. Somehow looks like an anagram indicator for things are threat, which is the right number of letters. So we're looking for a word which means momentous. And I think earth-shattering fits the bill. So fantastic, always good to get the long ones in. Let me pick up at the point where I stopped doing the acrosses. What's carried by ship is scary. Discarded loot. No. Small unit that could make mice tremor. I think this is my chrometer or micrometer. So that could make as an anagram indicator for mice tremor. That gives micrometer, which is a small unit of measurement. Greek character leading board, not necessarily permanent. This is mutable. So Greek character is mu, a letter of the Greek alphabet. Leading board, leading table, that gives mutable, which means capable of being mutated, therefore not necessarily permanent. One drafted in, being cute eye end, getting redeployed. Well, getting redeployed looks like an anagram indicator for cute eye end, and that gives inductee, which is one inducted or drafted in. African country set up to accommodate second religion. This is Islam. The African country is Mali. Set up is a reversal indicator. To accommodate second, to accommodate S, the abbreviation for second. That gives Islam, which is a religion. Meeting female. Give false account willingly. This is Leaf. So female is F, the abbreviation, and meeting, or next to female, we've got give false account, which is lie. That gives Leaf, which means willingly. Part of ship storing bit of rotten rubbish. This is dreck. Part of ship is deck. Storing bit of rotten. Well, a bit of rotten is the initial letter of rotten. That gives dreck, which means rubbish. Insignificant person, to enforce delay upon being picked up. This is make weight. So a make weight is an insignificant person. Upon being picked up is a homophone indicator. So to enforce delay is to make wait, spelt W-A-I-T, and that sounds like the answer. British journeys, frenetic, needing introduction of one female attendant. Wow, this looks... Well, I was going to say it looks like it begins brief, but I'm not sure it does. Identify, needed to enter sporting occasion. That is obvious. This is evidence. Identify is ID. To enter sporting occasion, to enter event. That gives evident, which means obvious. Okay, so 25 across didn't begin brief. Figure is round and not totally lifeless. No. British journeys. I wonder if this is bridesmaid. So British is B, the abbreviation. Journeys are rides. Frenetic is mad, needing introduction of one, introducing I. That gives bridesmaid, which is a female attendant. A three-legged race location. This is Isle of Man. So I think this is just a misleading or cryptic definition, so you don't have the normal split between definition and wordplay. The Isle of Man is an island off the coast of Britain, and its flag or badge is some sort of item like a circle with three legs coming off it, or it may just be three legs which are all joined together. But therefore, the Isle of Man could be a location for a three-legged race, where race is race of people who live on the Isle of Man. I think that's how that works. Numbers given hotel grub. This is NOSH. Numbers is NOS, the abbreviation. Given hotel, well, H is hotel in the NATO phonetic alphabet. That gives NOSH, which means grub in the sense of food. Figure is round and not totally lifeless. I think this is isogon. I think an isogon must be a figure, but I'm not familiar with its precise meaning. But it's certainly similar to polygon, which is a figure. Is, round is O, lifeless is gone, and not totally means without its last letter. Irishman bringing post around. This is Liam. Liam is the name of an Irish person, just a man's name. And post is male, around is a reversal indicator. Unexpected gains with politicians, those endorsing proposal. Yeah, this is signatories. Unexpected is an anagram indicator for gains. With politicians, with Tories, that gives signatories, who are people who endorse proposal because they put their signatures to it. What's carried by ship is scary, discarded loot. Wow, not getting that, but I feel I ought to. Form of impropriety, when academic leads a country. Well, country is surely nation, and we're leading a country. So form of impropriety. Academic, that could be prof for professor. So is profanation the act of profaning, which could be a form of impropriety? I've not seen that word before, but I think if all the crossing letters are corroborated, then I'll feel happy that it's correct. Feature of building. Computer programs we hear. This is apps. And apps is part of a church building. And we hear is a homophone indicator. Computer programs are apps, APPS, and that sounds like the answer. Poets Village Festival, entertaining 100 folk regularly. Wow, not getting that. Kings say upset, being taken in by bounders and scroungers. So, being taken in by bounders suggests that bounders go on the outside, and that ends in S. That would give a definition of scroungers, which also ends in an S. So I think there's a good chance 4 down ends in an S. What's carried by ship is scary. Discarded loot. Wow, this really looks like it begins SCH. Not getting it. Flighty type. Narrated story in auditorium. Nope. Old priest with the heartless description of the chosen people. This is elite. Old priest is Eli, a priest in the Bible. With the heartless. Well, if you consider the word the and make it heartless, you remove the H. That gives TE, which with Eli gives elite, which is a description of chosen people. Barely sufficient. Examination taking minimal time. Minimal time can be T, just a reference to the abbreviation. Examination is often oral or test, but not in this case. Viva. Wow, I don't think it is vivat, although that is a word, because that would mean 2 words ending in V. Pretty unlikely. Capital. This person's, I, invested in American city. Well, I'm just wondering if this could end in V because of Kyiv and Kiev, alternative spellings for the capital of Ukraine. But I'm not getting the American city. Good humour. Always at home in the course of game. No. Okay, 14 across. Pitch. Made by one favouring war. One favouring war is a hawk, politically speaking, and I think, well, somebody selling things can be described as a hawker, and I guess hawkers hawk, and people who are selling things make their pitch, so I think in that meaning hawk could mean pitch. Let's see if this K assists. Poets Village Festival. Entertaining 100. Folk regularly. Well, folk regularly often indicates every other letter, so every other letter of folk could be O and K, and I think this is East Coker. And I'm dredging my mind for East Coker is a village in a poem. Which poem? I'll probably make a fool of myself by saying The Wasteland by T.S. Eliot. I'm really weak on literature, but I do recognise East Coker as a village from a poem. Let's at least hope that the answer's correct, even if the poem is wrong. So, festival. Entertaining 100. Well, 100 is C, the Roman numeral for 100. Folk regularly is OK. Yeah, and the festival is Easter. So C and OK in Easter gives East Coker the poet's village. Right, 14 minutes down. Left in Calais, unable to communicate successfully. Wow. not getting that. Looked at team, showing anger maybe, after trick. I wonder if showing anger is red, because looked at is in the past tense, hence suggesting a word ending ed. So we're looking for a word meaning team, followed by, well, words meaning team and trick in either order, followed by red. Yeah, this is considered. So, considered means looked at, team is side, showing anger is red, after trick, after con. King, say, upset, being taken in by bounders and scroungers. Yeah, this is cadgers. So, king is R, short for Rex, Latin for king. Say is EG. Upset is a reversal indicator, being taken in by bounders, being taken in by cads. That gives cadgers, which are scroungers. Now, an orphan clue. Left in Calais, unable to communicate successfully. Wow. In Calais, Calais in France. So what's French for left? Droite is right. Gauche. Phew, rive gauche, yes. I've spent the whole crossword trying to think what's French for left, and it's only just come into my mind, but it is gauche. And if you're gauche, you're clumsy verbally, hence unable to communicate successfully. Great, that's the orphan clue done. Let me do my quick typo squiz so that I take full responsibility for everything that remains. All the acrosses look good. Profanation looks corroborated. Yeah. And the downs are also good. So, the final push. What's new? The D from considered. Flighty type. Well, that could be a bird. Narrated story could be red. Well, in auditorium looks like a homophone indicator. So, narrated story is red tail, spelled R-E-A-D and then T-A-L-E. That sounds like the answer, which is a bird. Great. Good humour. Always at home in the course of game. Well, I wonder if this is cheeriness. And yes, it is. Because cheeriness is good humour, always is EER, which is short for ever, which means always. At home is in the course of game, in the course of chess. So, 2 clues at the top right and 1 orphan. Barely sufficient. Scant. Examination is scan. Taking minimal time, taking tea. Capital. This person's invested in American City. Yeah, this is Lima. So Lima is the capital of Peru. This person, apostrophe S, is I am, short for I am. So this person is, I am, hence I'm, invested in American City in LA, short for Los Angeles, an American city. Okay, so 1 clue to go. What's carried by ship? is scary. Discarded loot. Wow, it looks like it ends INGS. Aha, I think this is shillings. So, and I'm getting that from the definition. I think loot is just a reference to money and discarded means obsolete. So I think shillings is an obsolete form of currency, probably replaced by the euro or even some currency before that. But does the wordplay corroborate? What's carried by ship is scary. Yeah, ship is steamship, which in crossword world is very usefully SS. And what's carried by SS is scary. Well, chilling means scary. So that gives us shillings, which is an old currency, hence discarded loot. So there we go. Every clue solved, every clue explained, no empty squares. Submit, submit, hope and pray, no errors. Fantastic. Wow, what a beautiful puzzle. As always, from the Times. So absolutely super fun to be able to sit down and spend 20 minutes solving the puzzle. We are getting a new Times crossword editor taking over in January. We've had a temporary one for a while since the very sad and unexpected demise of Richard Rogan back in June. But starting in January, we have a new Times editor who is one of the current setters and has got a great deal of experience within the world of cryptic crosswords. And I read a brief interview with him recently, and I think he made mention of the consistency of the Times crossword, which is certainly one characteristic which I have always appreciated. You occasionally get slightly easier puzzles and sometimes beasts, but you don't have a vast discrepancy on most days in terms of the level of difficulty. So it's always a good puzzle to test yourself against. Anyway, I look forward to, or wish the new crossword editor well in his role, and I think we'll be seeing the puzzles that he has edited starting to appear in January. Anyway, back to this puzzle. I would say the snitch for this probably in the 60s or 70s. So I hope you enjoyed watching this solve. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.